The following is a presentation of the ForceCenter podcast feed.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there, and welcome to Databank Brawl, the podcast where we learn about Star Wars characters, discuss those characters, how they make us feel inside, and then make those characters fight for our amusement, and also yours. I'm your host. My name is Joseph Scrimshaw. With me, as almost always, is just about the same amount of whiskey as Ken Napzok.
Today, that is accurate. This whiskey glass is about 200 pounds full of whiskey.
Big tumbler full.
And a Zevia soda as well. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
We've broke it down a bit.
It's just like you. It's chill. It's chill, but it's got some spice.
Chill, yes.
Chill and spicy.
Chill and gets grumpy and long lines.
Yeah, exactly. And I almost did that thing that's in one of the Coen Brothers movies where I just stopped talking and sipped my drink instead of saying the next thing I'm supposed to say.
Hey. What we do here.
It happens. Welcome back to Databank Brawl if you're a long-time listener, and welcome if you are a newer listener. Mm-hmm. This is what we do here is we pick some random characters, we read their databank entries that come right from StarWars.com official site, and then those characters have a fight that we improvise. Us and our whiskey create it for you. Ken, are you ready for your first combatant?
Absolutely ready, man.
All right, we are going back to the exciting new horizons offered to us by The Last Jedi. Our first combatant is First Order Snowtrooper.
Ooh.
Now, I know they were also in Force Awakens, but I think they got a little bit of an update for The Last Jedi, maybe in their databank entry here. We'll see. Here is what the StarWars.com databank says about First Order Snowtrooper. First Order stormtroopers assigned to frigid planets, such as Starkiller Base, wear specialized armor and gear that let them operate effectively in icy conditions. Snowtroopers carry a backpack-style personal environment unit and wear insulated helmets with glare-reducing slit lenses, gloves, a comma, and a heat-resistant body glove beneath an oversuit of wind-resistant fabric. Snowtrooper teams scouted the planet that now houses Starkiller Base, eliminating native life forms that posed a potential threat.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one was juicy.
Is that an update or?
I don't know if it's actually been up. They're in the Last Jedi queue right now, and I think maybe the text hasn't actually been updated.
Maybe that's not ringing a bell, because sometimes in order to kind of cheat and see what you might one day pick, I sometimes just go through the databank on StarWars.com. I love this idea of clearing out what I believe is Ilum.
Yeah,
but that's not a fact.
No, it's not. But this feels like a tease. This feels like you all know it's Ilum, and we'll tell you eventually. By the way. Yeah. There were native life forms there, and they killed them. This is, back to the heart of this show. We love our goofy, ridiculous fights that you're gonna hear, but it's also about like, hey, what's little interesting nuggets are buried in this canon source, and that is awesome. I don't know if it's pulled from some other canon that we're not aware of, but the idea that the snowtroopers go around slaughtering the life forms of icy worlds so the First Order can put their boot down on them. That's awesome.
Yeah. I love these guys.
What else do you got there on Wikipedia?
Yeah, no, obviously you're not going to get specific height and weight. That's going to vary. These aren't clones. They are, I love, they list their vehicles, because much like an old G.I. Joe figure, what vehicles do they drive? Light infantry, old utility vehicle. Those are the little speeders that you see Starkiller Base and from the deleted scene. If you play Battlefront 2, you get to play with these guys on Starkiller Base. And they are also on Crate, which I love. I love they're on Crate. So that's a separate discussion. Looking in the behind-the-scenes stuff, they describe this. They're quilted tunics and collars were made from jersey-backed neoprene, with the tunics also incorporating polyester and cotton. And then I read this wrong the first time I was reading it while you were talking. The nylon boots they wear are Kamek white men's Canuck cold weather boots. I read that wrong as white men's boots. They are Kamek white men's Canuck cold weather boots. But that is the description. That's what they look like. They got the capes. They got the little tunics. They got the visor, like you said.
Yeah, let's see. The glare-reducing slit lenses, which sounds borderline dirty.
Yeah, sounds wrong, but they got the helmets are similar. Well, no, they'd be different than the First Order regular Stormtroopers.
Yeah.
They're very reminiscent of what you'd see on the Death Star.
Oh, yeah. There's so much going on with their outfits. Everything that you were reading sounded like they were walking down the runway, and so does this whole databank entry. I'm not going to read it again because it's so much about their heat-resistant body glove, wind-resistant fabric, all that.
Right.
But in there was a comma, K-A-M-A.
Yes.
So I just do you know what that is off the top of your head? Because
No.
I Googled it, and I think I found it. The first entry that comes up says, comma means sex or desire, wish, longing in Indian literature.
That's true.
I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think that. Hey, do we have any recruits who are extra horny? Then you're a snowtrooper. The second entry for comma is a traditional Japanese farming implement similar to a sickle used for reaping crops and also employed as a weapon. I wonder if that's what they're supposed to have.
So I clicked in Wikipedia, comma is hyperlinked.
Okay.
So I clicked to it, and commas or belt capes were skirt-like armor accoutrements worn from the belt. So they show actually the shore trooper, which has like kind of a black comma.
Oh, yeah.
You and I are not armor experts.
No.
Some people out there might be screaming at their podcast playing device right now, going, "You guys study medieval
Come
armor."
on. Everybody knows a comma is a butt cape.
Yeah. And you'd be right out there listening, yelling at us. But
Butt cape, you idiots. Butt
but
cape.
Databank Brawl is about learning things just as much as killing
We
things.
learned so many things about and the original Snowtroopers, the classics from Empire, they have a comma or butt cape.
Yes.
Yeah, and that looks awesome. See, these people look really cool.
Yeah.
Now we know that they slaughtered people on what we believe to be Ilum,
Vicious.
Starkiller Base, and then I do love that they are employed to go on Crate.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, some of their equipment, like the glare-reducing slit lenses, that applies when it's salt instead of snow. And I'm glad that they didn't be like, hey, we need our salt troopers.
Yeah.
It's taking it a little too far.
Yes. I love shore troopers. You guys have heard me talk about it. I love the difference of class of stormtroopers. I love that even in Solo, we're going to get some new kind of troops. I like it. But I love that on Crate. I love that they decided, hey, so it's not just because it looks like snow. There's atmospheric elements that mean we need to deploy these guys. Get on your snow costumes, kids. We're heading to the surface of Crate. I like that.
Yeah, and they get to be in one of the best shots of The Last Jedi, which is that overhead shot of Kylo Ren marching into the Resistance stronghold.
Absolutely.
All right, any other thoughts or feelings on the First Order Snowtrooper?
No, love them.
All right, well, the First Order Snowtrooper is going to go up against a combatant that has been requested since before The Last Jedi came out. We just wanted to give it a little bit of time, spread out the cool. Our next combatant is a Vulptex.
Oh.
Yeah.
I should have guessed that.
Here's what the old databank says. Vulpteces are fox-like creatures with coats made up of crystalline bristles. They are gregarious and curious, with keen eyesight and the ability to squeeze their bodies through narrow gaps. A skulk of Vulpteces has taken up residence in the abandoned rebel base on Crate. If you ever want to test your reading and speaking skills, say these things out loud.
There's a lot of things.
A skulk of Vulpteces. That's work.
There's a lot there.
Yeah. Wow. So they're gregarious and curious. The curious makes sense, but the gregarious, the being like really friendly and wanting to engage with others, that's cool to know. That's some nice, good detail in the databank.
Right. I love these creatures, the crystal critters.
Yeah.
Crystal critters. They're popular with a lot of people. I know a lot of people. My girlfriend loves these characters. Fox-like, but they remind us of chihuahuas as well.
I'm pro Chihuahua, so I'm down with that. Anything else on Wikipedia?
Nothing in terms of, I was curious about maybe some general height or weight.
Yeah.
Usually with a species of, say, dog, you're going to know, Fox-like, so hair color, white, like you describe, eye color, blue and red, distinctions, the crystalline fur, nothing that's going to change what you've already described there.
Okay, wow. Yeah, so I like that they are gregarious and curious. I think that will certainly come into play. Now, it's Finn who does just call them crystal critters, right?
Yes.
Which is also a detail I love, because I love that Finn, who hasn't necessarily traveled the galaxy much, doesn't just automatically know, like, yes, these are a Vulptex, or Vulptices, plural, but the crystal critters.
It's also keeping with that Star Wars tradition of these characters and creatures and sometimes ships having these very detailed names, but in the movies, they're never referred to or called something else.
Right. It's just like bring up the bombers, not the, what is it, the MG-100 Star Fortress?
Yes.
Yeah. Everything is a mouthful behind the scenes in Star Wars. A Skulk, that's a cool group name. Any other like thoughts or feelings on these creatures? They're super cool.
They're very cool. I think there was Rian Johnson and his team introduced some good creatures to the Star Wars galaxy in The Last Jedi, and the Vulptex or the Vulptices are no different. I love when I run into them on Battlefront 2 in the caves on Crate. You can just follow one around while explosions rain down around you. I really like them, and I like that they had a purpose, too.
Yeah, do they jingle? Can you hear them?
No, and I don't think so, no.
Oh, okay.
The laser fire might be too loud.
And this is on the multiplayer levels, right? Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I want to go follow me, Crystal Critter.
Yeah, Crate's great.
Yeah, Crate's great. So I think that is it. We're not going to have a quote for the old Vulptex. Ching-a-ching-a-ching-a-ching-a-ching-a-ching. That's the official quote. Here we go then. Let's fight.
All right.
Now, sometimes we get crazy and weird. Sometimes I pick characters who are just like, they are where they are.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling that this episode, that we know exactly when these two would meet.
Yes.
It's on Crate.
It's on Crate.
After the Falcon flies away.
Boom, Falcon takes off.
Falcon's basically the sign with a middle finger on the back of it saying, bye.
Doors closed, jerk ball. I think that has to be it. And a very angry Kylo Ren is like, search the place, see if they're still here.
And I'm sure Hux is, spouting off saying like, I believe they have gone.
Oh, Ren, you let your personal ambitions get ahead of the mission.
Another force push. And why Hux can't remember.
Yeah.
I can only get so snotty or I'm getting that push.
Getting it. Yep.
But he does. He goes flying.
Yeah.
Rolls over some crates on Crate.
Some crates on Crate. So I think a gaggle of snowtroopers.
A gaggle of snowtroopers and a skulk of Vulptices.
Fanned out and they're exploring, and there's different groups of them. And I think they're not finding anything. They're not finding any resistance troopers. Nathan Hamill's character's long gone, too.
Yeah.
They're all packed up and left.
Yeah, you know what? Just to give this more, I think I know where you're going. To give this more flavor, I think maybe Kylo in his rage, this is just, we're going total fan fiction, threatens that they have to find something of value.
Something.
And I think, I think in order to illustrate his point, I think he whips out his blade and I think he slaughters a snowtrooper.
Oh,
I think he just cuts one of them. I think he just says, "Do you find anything in this main room?" And like, "No, sir." Shing! And his head is gone. And I think he is screaming, the weird veins pulsing. And he's saying, "You must find something.
You must. So I think one particular snowtrooper has broken off. He's in the back caverns where a lot of the power sources are. What's left of the rebel base back in the day when Bail Organa and his rebels were there. And I think he hears the jingle off to the far left. And his blaster's up.
Yeah, and I think to his shock, a creature rushes up to him much faster than he could have ever imagined and is doing like this friendly creature, like sniff, and is actually this gregarious Vulptex is doing that thing that dogs do, where they get their head under your hand, like pet me.
Right.
Now,
and he's got the gloves on, right?
Yeah.
In a moment of just kind of weakness. Now, mind you, this snowtrooper was probably part of Project Resurrection.
Yep.
Was probably taken, maybe even predates that. So I think he doesn't quite know what to do with this. It's like Finn with affection and the love of Rose. That's why Finn's got this quizzical look on his face when Rose kisses him. He's like,
What's that about?
what is this?
Yeah.
They always said I'd find my special purpose, but I didn't know this was it. Go watch The Jerk.
Little Steve Martin mashup.
Steve Martin mashup. So I think there's this moment where he just kind of looks down at this crystal critter, and he reaches down and he pets it.
Yeah. It's real gentle.
Yeah.
But then, I think, because the base is damaged, a light flickers on.
Yeah.
It shines down on all of these different refracting crystals. And light goes crazy, and a thing that has never happened to the Snowtrooper before happens. His glare-reducing slit lenses cannot handle all of that light bouncing from all of these weird angles off the back of this jingling creature.
Right.
And he panics. He's in fear because of the madness of Ren, and he brings his blaster up, right?
Yes. And fires.
Oh.
Pew, pew,
Pew, pew, pew, pew. Yeah, because he just assumes something's he's being attacked. Maybe this is a rebel. Maybe they trained it. Maybe this is a trap.
Yeah. He's far off away where no one else really hears.
Yeah. Oh no. This is him alone.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe because he's shooting wild, he's got the lens glare that most of the shots go wild, but one glances the Vulptex's side.
Yeah. Knocks off some crystals.
Yeah, some crystals. Ching, 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 ching. Yeah, it's like a chandelier falling apart.
Right. And the Vulptex goes sprinting away down an even darker little cavern.
Oh, yeah.
And the Snowtrooper kind of gathers himself, looks around, is like, I'm not going to get my head chopped off by Ren. I need to get that creature.
Yeah, because maybe that's something. And this is a good conversation piece. Yeah. What do you think the temperature is on Crate?
I think Crate is very cold. Very cold. When I see, and windy.
It's windy.
When Leia is there looking out with her gown covering her face.
Yeah, okay.
That's a very cold environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not snowy, but it's gusty.
Okay.
Brisk.
Good. I wanted to see how the First Order Snowtroopers personal environment unit was going. If he's getting too hot in there.
Right.
Because that's designed for frigid.
Right. Yes.
And this is windy.
Windy, gusty.
And,
blustery.
And being from the Midwest, I know the difference between Hoth and Crate.
Right.
And there is a difference. So I think even with the cold blowing wind, he's inside.
Right.
He's isolated. I think he's getting a little hot.
He's kind of he's getting hot under the collar.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Literally.
In a lot of ways.
Literally.
Yeah.
But he does. He plows. He runs down. What is this snowtrooper's name, by the way?
FN 3333.
FN 3333.
Yeah.
Nice. So I think FN 3333 is racing down this increasingly small corridor, right? I think he bangs his head on the rocks. He wonders if he's being drawn into a trap, but whatever is at the end of this corridor is not as bad as Kylo Ren. So he finally plows into a larger opening and is shocked at what he sees.
He sees a I'm scrolling back to it. He sees a skulk of Vulptex. Vulptexes. A whole bunch of them. And this is like most of the group that saved the Resistance. They've worked their way back down.
Okay, yeah, because they got out and they're like, well, let's go back. We can make our bodies very thin.
Yeah, some of them left some food behind, some paperwork. They need to get back. They left quick. Anyways, he turns the corner. He sees them there. And there's some conflict in himself. He knows he must take one.
Yeah.
He must come back with something.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, look at all the critters.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird vibe.
Yeah, and then he's like, FN 3 FN 3 times 4. No, that would be a different number. Anyway, FN 3. Anyway, shake it off.
Yeah.
And he raises his blaster.
Yes.
And he shoots some of the roof. The ceiling, the barren environment, and it crumbles.
Yeah,
and it doesn't completely collapse, but enough that it scares off a bunch of them.
It scares off the most of the skulk of Vulptexes.
And now the main Vulptex who attacked him earlier, they're still there's still a few other Vault PCs.
Yeah.
But our main Vulptex.
Yeah.
And I think that they, in their weird language that we don't know, their call and response, that they have names. And I think his name is Unao.
Unao.
Unao
there. Okay, I like that.
And I think Unao, the Vulptex, he had been so friendly and so curious. He had been so interested to welcome this visitor, this stranger.
Yeah.
And now it's attacking for no reason, a big stomping monster, laser fire, and he wants to protect the rest of the skulk.
Yeah.
So I think he makes a leap, and I think he grabs the blaster in his teeth.
Oh, wow. Just kind of
tries to pull it away out of the hand of FN-333.
Like a ferocious chihuahua pulling out a jerky treat.
Yes, and I grew up with a ferocious chihuahua.
Yeah.
They're powerful creatures.
Powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah. And FN-3333 is stunned now. He's like, oh, I may have made a mistake here. I've underestimated my opponent. And he's in like a little tug-of-war, much like if you have a sock and you're playing tug-of-war with a dog.
I think the blaster's going off. Random parts of the cave are exploding.
But the Vulptex, though tiny, is strong. And the Snowtrooper, FN-3333, is caught off guard. So he loses control of the blaster.
Yeah, and now Unao the Vulptex has a blaster, and I think he
has it in his possession.
Yeah, it's in his mouth, and he shakes it, and I think it goes off, and I think that it wings FN-3333.
Yes, it wings him right on his side, and it causes damage to his butt cape.
His comma is in flames.
Yes, comma is in flames. No one likes a comma in flames. So
I think he does what he's been trained to do, which is stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
And puts out the little flames, little spark of laser fire. And he looks, and Unao... they make eye contact.
Oh, yeah.
As best you can behind a visor.
And the keen blue eyes.
And Unao runs off with the blaster.
Oh,
even farther down the cave.
This is like a strange parable of... This is where fear leads you. Down smaller and smaller paths where more and more horrors await you.
You keep going.
But that's where FN-333 goes. And now, he's first to run down it. Now he's crouching.
Yes.
Now he is very aware, because his comma has been destroyed, that his butt is getting very dirty.
Butt is getting dirty. Yeah, you don't want an unprotected butt on crate. Also,
go for it.
He's worried because, you ever watch Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia?
Oh, yes.
When John C. Reilly loses his gun and he's a police officer, it's very embarrassing. It causes problems. Now, he just lost his firearm here.
Yeah.
FN-3333, there's no way he can report back.
No, he needs that.
He needs that blaster.
But it's getting smaller and smaller, and he's getting down to now he is on his hands and his armored knees like a Vulptex, but he's nowhere near as fast. But he's crawling, he's squeezing. How did they even get through this?
Right.
It's scraping on his backpack personal environment unit.
His personal environment unit is sprung a leak or something.
Yeah, and in fact, it gets damaged to where the unit thinks it's even colder than it is. And it flames up. And, oh, man, FN-3333 sweating like a mother.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Crate during the summer. All right, Crate has 4 seasons.
Yeah. Warm salt.
Yeah. Gareth Edwards just stares at you for 5 minutes. Yeah, so he keeps going on, and it's gotten to the point where he almost says, am I heading down the right corridor? I don't know.
Yeah.
And his guard is almost let down. And he's like scraping through. He's sweating his cape off. And all of a sudden, the Vulptex Unao returns, like charges, and bops him right on the head.
Oh, like just a headbutt? A crystal headbutt?
And I know he's got the mask on, but it's done with such force, and it's prickly, too, because that little crystal.
It's prickly, and it rings.
Yeah.
So he hits him, and goes... Yeah, man, he's getting hit in the head with chimes.
Right.
Powerful wind chimes.
Like going to grandma's house and you hit those wind chimes. Yeah.
But even louder.
Grandma, why are these hanging in the living room? Yes. So now he's just angry.
Yeah, now his head is rocking. Now, did they open into a larger passage, or is he still compressed in this tunnel?
Yeah, he pushes through, chases it because Unau runs ahead.
Unau just zips in, headbutts him, runs away. What an insult!
Just playing with him at this point.
Teasing him.
FN 3333 is on his fours, crawls forward, and stumbles down a little bit. Like, whoa, he can't really see. Boom, 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 and he stumbles down like a little embankment, not unlike, say, the Gomorian Guard falling into the Rancor pit.
Oh, yeah.
Stumbles, and he comes to, there's like this wide open cavern with like a lake, a little waterfall, crystal, those red crystals that you see the Falcon fly through.
Yeah.
He's reached like that part of the planet.
Those are valuable crystals, he realizes. That's why there are mining operations on Crate. First Order hasn't got around to ravaging this world. He's like, maybe if I grab some of this valuable crystal,
yes,
Kylo won't kill me.
You should always try to avoid valuable crystal, but it attracts wrong kind of people.
It is a terrible stripper name. Don't use that.
So now it's almost like he's in a Willy Wonka land and all this chocolate. Like, you can grab all this chocolate here.
Yeah, and what does he have? He's got his heat-resistant body glove, but he's got his damaged backpack, and he's trying to shove...
He's got those little pouches.
Yeah, he's trying to shove this stuff in, and I think this is a part of the environment of the Vulptex, and I think that at this point, our Vulptex, Unau, is offended that this intruder keeps following him, keeps disrupting their natural environment. It's not like the people who were there before who were peaceful. This guy's firing at him. He's scaring other people. And I think the Vulptex realizes this creature needs to die.
Yes. For the sake of his species. And, and the rest of the skulk of Vulpteces. Yes. So
Unau attacks, right?
Yes, and he knows what to do. These are smart creatures. Right?
Yeah.
They were smart enough to know that the Resistance were good people and they needed a way out.
Yeah.
Because that last one truly is like, hey, guys.
Hey, slowpokes.
We're coming this way.
Yeah.
Good luck getting through. Hope you have a Force user on the other side, but here we go. So what he does is he charges and he leaps at FN 3333 and starts to undo his mask and helmet.
Oh, like I like this, that he just kind of comes at it sideways. And he locks either side of his jaws on the helmet and just pulls him down this weird, awkward way that his neck goes on FN 3333. It didn't break, just cracking.
Right.
And he's tugging at that helmet. And I think it does come apart. It rips apart. Right? Yep. And now FN 3333 has even more to get back. His blaster, his helmet, and his respect. And I think that he tries to get everything back by just reaching out with his gloved hands, and he tries to get a hold of the Vulptex.
It's like trying to grab a dog at bath time. And it squirms, it moves, but he jumps on it and is able to grab it around the abdomen.
Oh, yeah, I like this.
It pierces his gloves.
Oh, yeah, it cuts him. He is bleeding.
Right.
And now I think Unau can't wriggle away. He tries to constrict, but FN 3333 he's getting a tight hold. His face is pressed in there. Now his cheek is being cut. He's bleeding all over the Vulptex. It's pretty gross. Yeah. So Unau takes off running to the place that a Vulptex can always go to win, which is a smaller hole.
Smaller hole. And he races into over the far right of the big giant cave there, the water cave, finds a hole, tries to get through it, and FN 3333 is chasing him. He leaps, and he's just able to grab the tail.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I think Unau does something that we don't know that Vulptex can do.
Right.
Readjusts the crystals. So there's a little bit of spare space on his tail that isn't covered by crystal. Like he kind of shifts them a little bit.
Oh, like a slick?
Yeah.
Slick tail?
Yeah. So suddenly FN 3333 has a better grip than he should be able to, and he should realize that this is a trap.
Yes.
But he doesn't.
Okay.
And Unau goes to that small hole.
Yeah.
He compresses his Vulptex body.
Yeah.
He slides through. Wham! FN 3333's head is lodged painfully in the rock.
Yes.
On the other side, Unau's dancing, which
Yes.
is basically just like banging his head against the rock.
Yeah.
It's really pretty cruel.
Yeah.
It's like
base level.
Yeah.
So his head is Evan 3333's head is just wedged in
a rock, being
At best he's
rocked
got a
back and
concussion.
forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. It's
Not
horrible.
good. Not
Now,
good.
I don't know about how you're feeling about this fight, Ken, but I think this is maybe a good pausing point.
Yeah.
To decide who should win,
Yeah.
who deserves to win, all that stuff.
Unau deserves to win.
Yeah.
Unau should win.
Yeah.
Every once in a while on Databank Brawl, we have those type of fights.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
pretty clear.
I don't think Unau kills him. I think it just has earned the right to safety and earned the right to this victory.
Yeah. To
A win
peace.
in the column, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you see it going from this point.
I'm open.
I think Unau grabs the blaster, still by him.
Yeah.
He had kind of moved. He kind of hit it under a rock.
Yeah, he keeps dropping it and picking it back up with his mouth.
Yeah.
He's really just kind of dancing
Looks
circles
over
around this guy.
at the concussed FN 3333. Goes and retrieves his his butt cape. Kind of burrows, puts it, grabs it, and it's very impressive. This Vulptex, he's got very dexterous.
I like this. I like to imagine that he totally knocked FN 33 out,
Yes.
and now he's like setting this up,
Yes.
like a serial killer setting up a room.
Yeah, but some of the stuff he's like pulling back, like he's like, oh, we could burrow in this little butt cape, be a nice blankie.
Oh yeah.
know?
He's collecting his goods.
Dogs
his
love
trophies.
blankies. Yeah, and I think he vacates the scene, leaves, and causing FN 3333 to come to an hour later. An hour later.
Yeah.
He has to pull himself up. He's bleeding. He's concussed. Got a goose egg on his head. Mm-hmm. Can't find his helmet. Can't find his blaster. He's missing his butt cape.
Yeah.
Has to crawl back and find his way back. Maybe another half hour passes by. And he stumbles back into the main cave there, the main salt mine,
Yeah.
where he sees a bunch of snowtroopers lined up. He hears Hux yelling, "None of you have found anything. We're the First Order. We find things. That's what we do. That's what we built this on, finding things.
We locate.
This finding thing on which you stand.
We found it.
We found it." I think he hears all this. He slowly trudges back. Blood still pouring from his face. It's also crusted.
Yeah.
And I think he returns to what remains of the First Order troops there on the planet.
Yeah.
And everyone turns to him.
And I think Ren is there too, and Ren is pacing and trying to control his anger. And all eyes turns towards him, seeing through their glare-reducing slit lenses. He's the last to return back. And I think Kylo ignites his blade and shaking. Mm-hmm. It's a mess, just like Kylo. He holds it to him like, "What did you find?" And I think FN 3333 begins to accept his fate.
Yeah.
He raises his hands and says, "I found..." And then he sees in his hands a substance that he's not sure what it is. His brain is moving lightning fast because it's life or death moment where time freezes.
Yeah.
And he realizes while he was unconscious, one of the Vulptex, one of the Vulpteces, defecated on him. Is an extra, "Hey, get out of here, buddy."
Yeah.
But people don't know this. It's this weird combination of salt, organic matter, and crystal that come out of the back end of a Vulptex.
Oh, yeah.
That combine into this weird, mysterious object that is actually really great fuel. And as Kylo Ren holds his blade to his hands, FN 33 holds up his hands, and suddenly this burst of flame. Now, FN 33's hands is burnt. One of his hands is basically gone. But everybody's like, "Hey, he found a resource." And I think Hux in particular is like, "What? What was that? Was that the defecation of the crystal monstrosities? We can use that for fuel, for all of the wasted firepower." that we've expended on this planet.
This crystal on which we stand, combined with other things, can be used to our advantage. It is the way of the First Order.
And Kylo, rah! He turns and he uses his anger on another part of the base. He throws some crates on crate.
Yeah.
He tries to contain himself, and Hux says, What is your name?
It's FN 3333. My friends call me Quad Threes.
I don't care about friends. However,
I don't have friends.
you have made a discovery. And for that, you shall be rewarded by the highest standard of not death. We will not kill you. On this day, you shall stand alive. And FN 3333, his hand still burning in horrible pain.
Yeah.
Tries not to cry.
Yeah.
From relief.
And he hears in the background, in the faint, distant corners of the mind, ching, 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 ching. And he knows that somewhere, that night, a Vulptex is sleeping on his butt cape.
The end.
Dun, 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 dun.
Another beautiful story of tragedy, triumph, shame, and glory. That's what we do here on Databank Brawl. We get to know these characters just so we can do horrible things to them. But thank you, as always, for listening. If there are characters that you would like to see fight, let us know. Use the hashtag Databank Brawl. A lot of people requested the Vulptex, and you got what you wanted. Let us know who you would like to see fight. There's so many different places you can do that with the Facebook and the Twitter, and I will let you know about that. Ken, where can people find you?
Hey, man, you can find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms, including Twitch, where, quite frankly, you can probably watch me chase a Vulptex on crate.
And see if that Vulptex defecates. Probably not. We always like to thank Tony Thaxton for our theme music. This is the first of our shows that he did, and he knocked it out of the park. He wrote a new theme for our main show. We got more shows coming up. You can check out his Patreon, where he writes Star Wars music all the time. This is a fun thing to talk about here on Databank Brawl. We are now doing YouTube episodes. We have a couple of our favorite episodes up on YouTube. It is just a search for ForceCenter, and you will find us on YouTube. Jennifer Landa has added some fun graphics. We would love to have fully animated episodes of Databank Brawl, but this is what we can do for now. We're scrappy rebels. We're the scrappy resistance of Star Wars talking. And Jennifer Landa has added lots of cool visuals, and we've got a good system set up where every week we'll release this audio podcast episode, and then the following week it'll be up on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube watcher or listener, know that more and more Databank Brawl is coming, and we will continue to explore the adventures of YouTube. You can also support us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/ForceCenter. If you're interested in merch, you can go to tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter. For myself, you can check out my podcast Obsessed and all of my various live shows and other stuff I got going on, comedy albums. All that information is available on my website at josephscrimshaw.com. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram as at Joseph Scrimshaw. You can like Force Center on Facebook and follow us on Twitter as at Force Center Pod. And until next time, as Luke Skywalker once said, while no one was really listening, I care. That's it for Databank Brawl.